What's going on, family? Grace and peace. This is your host, Javon Blue, on the Kingdom Talks podcast, where we're going to be talking about God, business, trading, manhood, marriage, and all the real stuff that's happening out there. So listen, sit back, relax, open up your Bibles, open up your notebooks, whatever you got to do, and let's get it. Sheesh, let's go. Yo, what's going on, Grace and peace, Kingdom family? Happy Friday to you. Happy Friday to you, man. We are here again with another episode on the Kingdom Talks podcast. I'm your host, Javon Blue, and like I always say, I'm excited. Man. You know, just being able to be the mouthpiece of God and just letting his spirit just flow through me so that you guys can get, you know, wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of his word. But also, you know, some practical things that you guys can use out there in the field, you know, especially for my visionaries, my creatives, and, you know, so forth and so forth. Those who are elevating, building, and pursuing what it is that they need to pursue in this lifetime. So, guys, we're going to hop into the episode. It's not going to be a crazy long one, but it's going to be a very intriguing one. And the topic today is actually a question, right? It's actually a question. And it's why not become a millionaire? You know, why not become a millionaire? And I have some notes written down because I wanted to stay on topic with this, because it's you know, it's definitely intentional, right? Life is intentional. For those people who don't see it that way, I'm pretty sure that their life isn't really how they want it to be. Because if you're not being intentional about your life, then I know that life is just happening to you and you're not happening to it. Like, you're not contributing to anything in life if your life isn't intentional. And the first thing that I want to come from, you know, really setting foundation of this question, why not become a millionaire, is becoming a millionaire should be your financial duty, right? I'm gonna just say that becoming a millionaire, should be your financial duty, right? Now, here's the thing. A lot of people think that, you know, oh man, a millionaire, like, what are you, like a big shot? Like, you're trying to do something, this, that, and the third. Like, oh my God, a millionaire. Like, that's such a far-fetched goal. Like, oh man, it's so big, I can't even think that far. Oh man, what am I going to have to do that? And the truth of the matter is you have to change your perspective. And as we're going through this episode, I'm going to help you guys really shape your perspective on what I truly mean and what others do that become millionaires, that I have researched, that I have studied, and the millionaires that, you know, I know personally and have been groomed into, you know, really seeing them, you know, the way that they think and stuff like that. The stuff that I learned was, you know, really the becoming process, right? A lot of people only focus on the money aspect of a millionaire, and that's literally not what makes the millionaire a millionaire, far as the 100% completion of it. You know, it is the end result, but it's not the main priority of the millionaire, right? The money is the fruit that is produced after, you know, years of becoming, years of things being rooted in the ground, a watering process, a sun process that has to, you know, contribute to that fruit. But the first note of this is becoming a millionaire should be your financial duty, right? And the reason I say that is because, you know, while people are focusing on the zeros behind the solid number, they ignore the fact that I say becoming, right? And it's in the becoming that makes it so important, right? To become a millionaire, and I'm going to dive into this later on, but the becoming process of a millionaire gets you ready to receive the freedom, the abundance that you're truly looking for. See, if, like Jim Rohn says it like this, if I hand you $1 million, it's best you become a millionaire quickly, right? I'm gonna say that again for the people in the back. If I hand you $1 million, it is your job. It is a priority that you should become a millionaire quickly. And what Jim was basically saying in that He was saying it's not the $1,000,000 that makes you the millionaire. It's the becoming process that makes you the millionaire, right? It's the mindset, it's the characteristics, it's the struggles, it's everything that you did to become who you are today, as far as being a millionaire. So when you're looking at that, it should, the becoming process of a millionaire should be your financial duty. Because oftentimes, here go right here, like this is the truth of the matter, that, and I heard this a long time ago, if money can fix it, you don't have a problem, right? And I know people go and fight me on this, but I'm gonna say it again. If money can fix whatever quote unquote problem that you have, you don't have a problem. Because if I can just write you a check, or if you can just make more money and then the problem goes away, you truly don't have a problem, right? You just need some money, because there's real problems out there that money cannot solve. And that is what makes the problem the problem. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's a problem when it cannot be solved by an external thing, if that makes sense, right? There are problems out there called cancer that are truly problems where people just can't, like, they just can't figure it out, right? There's problems out there where there's sicknesses and there's different stuff, or, you know, whatever the case may be, where money cannot fix it, right? There's problems in marriages where money is just flowing in consistently, but, you know, maybe, you know, such and such just don't get along, like whatever the case may be. Marriage is failing, but the money is just abundant. Like, you know, there's situations that money can't solve, and that is what makes problems problems. But if money can solve your problem, guess what? You don't have a problem. You just got an issue. Fix the issue. You guys get what I'm saying? So becoming a millionaire should be your financial duty, because what it does is it eliminates a lot of stuff, and it allows you to focus on your purpose in life. I say this all the time in my episodes: get money out of the way. Because when the money is out of the way, right? And notice what I said: when the money is out of the way, not the bills, because the bills are going to keep coming whether you're rich or poor, right? Bills don't stop because it's like, oh, well, you know, you're rich, so you know what, we're not going to charge you. No, the bills are going to keep coming. The only thing that changes as you become, you know, wealthy and you start understanding money management and different stuff like that is that they're not priority anymore. Because I got money out the way, and now I get to focus on what I am here to do. So becoming a millionaire should be your financial duty. Now, number 2, watch this. Stop looking at millionaire as a bunch of zeros and start looking at it from a strategic point of view. You have to stop looking at, you know, not becoming a millionaire. Stop looking at millionaires based on how much money they have, and start looking at what they have created and what structures, what businesses, what platforms have they created to the point where it is allowing them to maintain what they have built. Because most of the time people say, oh, well, you know, that's not for me. Oh, well, you know, they got it all. And all these, you know, ideas and and words and different stuff comes to mind when you just look at a millionaire with a whole bunch of zeros. Like, the reason why people, you know, mess with Elon Musk, they mess with Jeff Bezos, they mess with Bill Gates, Warren Buffett, these, you know, the people that have been mentioned in Forbes magazine, where, you know, publicly you're seeing part of their net worth and, you know, different stuff like that. The reason why people pick on them is because they're just looking at the zeros. They're just looking at how much, you know, billions of dollars that they have in assets. Like, they're just looking at that, but they're not looking at it from a strategic point of view. What strategy, what blueprints have they created that allowed them to get that? So we focus more on the zeros and the money that they have, not knowing that that's not the money that's just sitting in their bank account. See, when you're broke and you're poor, you think just because, you're worth this, that money's just sitting in the bank account. No. When they're talking about, this is how much they have, like this is their net worth, they're adding up all of their appreciating assets that they have, whether it's businesses, whether it's real estate, whether it's, how much the company is doing, how much investments that they have, their investment portfolios in the stock market. They're combining and adding up all of that. That is what makes them what they're worth. But that doesn't mean that that's how much they have liquid. You guys get what I'm saying? So stop looking at millionaires with a bunch of zeros and start looking at them from a strategic point of view. Right now, here's the thing that really a lot of people get mixed up is that most people, when I ask people like, yo, you ever thought about becoming a millionaire? Like, do you want to play that game? Like, is it something that you want to do? And, oftentimes you would be very surprised. People, most people say, well, I don't want to become a millionaire. I just want to, get by. I just want to make, something extra. I just want to be comfortable. Like all these different terms and sentences that you hear. And most people who say right, quote unquote, I don't want to become a millionaire is already viewing it from a selfish standpoint. You're already looking at it from a point of selfishness and you're just being stingy, like you just don't care about other people. And people are probably gonna be like, well, Javon, what are you talking about? It's because you started the statement off with I. You said, I don't want to become a millionaire. See, when you start statements off like that, what it does is you block out your family, you block out your friends, you block out those individuals who are close to you, and you only focus on what you want. And it's like, well, if your goals and your dreams do not include other people making their life better, then I'm pretty sure it's going to crumble at some point. So stop starting the conversation off with, I don't want to become a millionaire. Why not? Right? We know that here's the thing. You may not need all of the millions, but people around you do. You know what I'm saying? Like people, like I have a wife, I have a daughter. I'm pretty sure, I don't need $30 million. I don't need this, but hey, listen, I want to start, companies. I want to invest in real estate. I want to make sure that my wife is good. My daughter is good. I want to make sure that the people around me and those who I employ, they're good, which means I can't just walk around talking about I want to be comfortable, because comfortable is only good for me. But comfortable may not be good for the legacy of my family. Comfortable may not be good for when I'm employing people. Like there's a big difference. You may be the individual that is complaining at their job why, they're working so hard, but they're only getting paid, such and such. And that can be the very difference. By me going above and beyond with wanting to make millions of dollars could be the difference from you making 20 grand a year versus somebody working for me, right, that I'm employing, they making 70 grand minimum starting, right? So when you start to understand that, don't ever start a financial statement with I, right? Look at it from the point of view of, let me think about who is around me and then I'll put a number out. You guys get what I'm saying? So you got to start asking questions like, does my household need this? Right? Does my household need me to become a millionaire? Right? Does my household need this? Like, does my vision include family and friends? My goals, my life? Like, do they include my family, my internal family, my external family, but also my friends, those closest that are in my circle? Like, does my vision include them? And, what can me being a millionaire, right? Like, what can this contribute to the decisions that I have made? A lot of us have made decisions. We made right decisions. We made wrong decisions. But could me becoming a millionaire help those decisions that I have made over the past? Like, you have to start thinking about this stuff and like, how many other households will be blessed by me becoming a millionaire? right? You got to think about that stuff. Like, how many people's homes, like, really think about, other people. Like, when I was working jobs and I was doing all this different type of stuff, going from company to companies and different stuff like that, I used to just sit back and think like, yo, like, it doesn't matter how much the CEO is making. When I get to go home and my family is eating a meal because of his decision. And this is why I never understood why people always mad about income. Like, oh, well, we should get paid more. We should be doing this, yada, yada, yada. Hey, listen, you eat every day. The decision that they made, I'm pretty sure you would have not made that decision. So what you need to do is focus on not looking at the CEO, not looking at your boss as the one who should be providing for your wealth legacy of your family, but look at the CEO as somebody who is thoughtful enough to have made a decision to think about feeding your household. So when you start to understand that, like, don't ever look at your CEO or your boss as somebody who is supposed to be making sure your family is financially free. That's not their job. That's your job. That's an in-house job, right? Don't get it twisted. So many times, just like switching it, many times we have strategies and blueprints for surviving in poverty, right? We have all of these ways of how we finesse the system, right? We know how to thrive when we're surviving. We know how to thrive when it comes to the poverty mindset, when we're just living below our means and different stuff like that. But we never, ever figure out how to accomplish and maintain abundance, right? I'm going to say that again. Many times we have strategies and blueprints for surviving in poverty, but we never have those strategies and blueprints when it comes to accomplishing and maintaining abundance. Why is it that we thrive so much when we're under pressure, but we fold up when it's time for us to fight the fight for us to become free? Right? We got all the questions in the world about the freedom blueprint, but we have less questions about our current situation, that we're sitting here literally living in lack. See, that's a problem. That's selfishness right there. Right? So we got to do better when it comes to that. Right? And this is why becoming a millionaire, you becoming that $1 million person, what it does is it teaches you so much. Right? So the goal isn't to acquire all the money in the world. Like, that's not the goal. Like, I'm pretty sure no millionaire and billionaire, like, when, just woke up one day, like, man, I want all the money in the world. Absolutely not. There's no way, there's no way that can happen. Right. So the goal isn't to acquire all the money in the world. It's to have a specific number that you need to sustain you, your families, and their families' freedom. Right. I'm going to say that again. Right. The goal isn't to acquire all the money in the world, but it's to have a specific number that you need so that you can sustain yourself, your families, and their families' freedom. This is why the Bible says, make sure you have an inheritance for your children and your children's children. That's your grandchildren and your great grandchildren. Make sure you leave them an inheritance, because you while you're on this earth, it's not just about you. It's just not like, that's not how God designed it. Right? It's just not how he designed it. So you have to be thinking about more than just you, right? So we must start calculating wealth. And here it go, because this is when it gets very interesting. We got to start calculating wealth based on time and not dollars. Right? I'm going to say that again. We must start calculating wealth based on time and not dollars. Now, you do need the dollars to buy the time, but it's not about the money 100%. It's more about, okay, I need to do this so that I can have the time. I can leave legacy, right? The amount of time that I have the amount of money that I have can get me the time that I need, right? Because when you think about it, we buy everything else. Why don't we buy time? Really think about that. We buy food, we buy cars, we buy clothes, right? We buy video games, we buy experiences, we buy, entertainments, all this different type of stuff. Why don't we ever buy time? And you probably be like, what, Javon, how in the world are you going to buy time? By becoming a millionaire. By knowing that, hey, listen, I need to get my cash flow right. I need to set up some things where I am financially free so that I can become that millionaire so that I can have that time freedom as well. It's all about financial freedom and time freedom as well. Like, you want to get both of them at the same time. So when we start talking about, we must start calculating wealth based on time and not dollars, how you view that, well, how wealthy people view it is this, and I said this in a couple of other episodes in season 1, I believe. But for my new people that are, logging in, calculating what it is that we're talking about, this is how wealthy people view time. Let's say I have $5 million sitting in my checking account right now. There's $5 million sitting in my checking account right now, right? And that's the only money that I have. Like, I don't have anything else coming in. Like, that is it. If my annual expenses, like all of my expenses at the end of 365 days, at the end of the year, after 12 months, all of my expenses are $1 million, right? And I only have $5 million in my account, then that means that my wealth is 5 years, right? My wealth is 5 years because all of my expenses for the year is 1 million. And that's how you have to look at wealth. That's why wealthy people say, you know what? I'm going to get, 70 million, 100 million, right? 400 million. Why? Because they understand, okay, if my if my expenses each year are, let's just say it's about 3 to 4 million a year, that's how much I'm spending, and I have $100 million, right, to my name, then I know that my life and my family's lifetime will be in abundance because the money supports the time, right? I hope you guys really got that. That's a beautiful, beautiful thing that you can grab because, poor people think about, week to week. Middle class people think about, month to month. The rich think about year to year, and the wealthy people, the super rich, they think about decade to decade. So most of us probably, thinking about, well, I'm waiting for that check to come on week because, I worked hard all week. The job better have my check. I better get that direct deposit. And so many people are thinking week to week or like every other week to the point where they can't even fathom like, yo, if you don't have nothing saved up, if you don't have any cash flow coming in, you don't have extra streams that are producing money on, a weekly basis, a monthly basis, whatever the case may be, you don't have that passive income coming in and you're living check to check, then that means that your wealth is only 1 week, which means if you miss a check or two, it's over for you. Most people are 1 check away from being homeless, right? So when we think about that stuff, like, you got to start understanding. So with becoming a millionaire, this is simply what it means. When you are becoming, right? When you are in that state of becoming, like, the becoming stage is the stage that most people don't even know about. The becoming stage is that stage where a lot of people are not even going to know you. They're not even going to want to talk to you. You don't even want to be around them. Why? Because you're becoming, right? So with that becoming a millionaire, what that truly means is you have adopted a certain mindset. You don't have a poverty mindset. You have a wealth mindset. You don't have a lazy mindset. You have a strong mindset. You're getting up every single day, right? You have acquired a certain level of skills. So when that becoming a millionaire process, you have acquired a certain level of skills to the point where you have dedicated your mind to learning something and becoming obsessed with it to the point that you have become skilled in it. Right? You understand a great form of leadership and discipline. In that becoming process, you start to understand that, hey, listen, I have to understand leadership, because before I lead anybody else, I must first lead myself. And that requires discipline, right? You have acquired goals in your life, which leads to intentionality. See, here's the thing. In the process of becoming, when you get the fruits of your labor, right? That means that you have done some things to get there. You can't become a millionaire without having a goal to become a millionaire. So you have acquired goals in your life. A lot of people don't know how to set goals. I'm going to do a podcast on goal setting, but a lot of people don't even know that, right? So whatever you have created, right? Whatever you have created has made someone else's life better. That's another point. When you're becoming a millionaire, right, and you get that, you get the millions and you're living a life, right? Whatever you have created has made someone else's life better. So when we look at people like, Steve Jobs, we are still using his products till this day. When we look at people like Jeff Bezos, look at that. We're still, like, half of y'all on here probably got Prime. Right? When we look at people like Jack Dorsey, right? People are still using Twitter. People are using Cash App. People are doing Square payments, right? When we look at Berkshire Hathaway, people are getting real estate. When we look at Warren Buffett, people are getting real estate through Berkshire Hathaway, right? Different stuff like that. So when we're looking at individuals who have, the $1 million status, the $1 billion status, notice that whatever they have created, it has made someone else's life better, right? So we got to see that, millionaires and billionaires contribute when it comes to helping the economy, right? So when they're creating this stuff to make somebody's life better, they are contributing, right? See, poor people function within what was created and they just go with the flow. So this is why they have all types of opinions, because they're not creating anything. And when you don't create anything, guess what you do? You consume basically majority of everything that you have obtained. But you're not contributing anything to the betterment of the economy, right? You're just consuming. So that's how poor people function. Like, they just function within what was created or what is created. You don't want to stay in that process, family, right? So you owe it to yourself to get on this journey of becoming, right? It's the journey of becoming that really puts you in the atmosphere of just greatness, right? It just puts you in the atmosphere of greatness. So like I said, family, I'm not going to be on here, the whole time yakking. But I just wanted to really get that across. Like, guys, why not become a millionaire? Why not become the first millionaire of your family? Right? If there's no millionaires in your family, make that a goal. Make it a goal, because the process of becoming the millionaire, like, let's just say that you never ever get the $1 million. You never get the 3 million, the 5 million, whatever the case may be. Do you know the person who you will be in the process of trying to go get it? Man, like, people not even going to recognize you. And then you might end up being something so much better than you ever thought that you could be, simply because you are in the process of becoming. But that's all I have for you guys, right? We will be back over the weekend, so you guys can definitely get another episode of the Kingdom Talks podcast, man. I love you guys. Hope you guys got some nuggets from that. Hope you guys process the information, right? Analyze the information and apply the information, right? Application is everything, not just studying, not just hearing. The Bible says, don't just be hearers of the word, but be doers of the word. So I want you guys to go out there and do, right? Do something that's going to put you in position so that you can win. And with that being said, family, let's build wealth the kingdom way. Let's grow. Let's dominate. Let's make it happen. Let's get it. Yo, what up, Kingdom family? Thank you for tuning in to today's episode. Listen, I want you to hit the block, hit up your job, hit up your family, your campus, your friends, whatever the case may be. Send them this episode. Let them know what we got going on. And I will see you guys on the next one. Let's get it.